Welcome back to another session from eLearning Edu. In today's class, we will be moving on to the last topic of the chapter 2, that is acids, bases and salts, that is the indicator. So far we have covered almost all the topics of this chapter. Now let us move on to the last topic, the indicator. Students, I hope you are very much familiar with the term indicator. Indicator is nothing but it is a substance which imparts color, that is which will show some characteristic color change. And so we can define in the that is in the chemistry we can define this indicator as a substance that changes its color in acidic and basic medium. That is, these indicators will show one color in acidic medium and they will show different color in the basic medium. These are the indicator. And so this indicator can be used in our day-to-day life. Whatever the substance we use, that is whether it is citric acid, that is a lemon juice, then vinegar, and that is all these are acids, and we can differentiate between the acids as well as the bases, that is the soap solution. We can differentiate between these acids as well as the bases by using this indicator. And so we can differentiate whether this vinegar is acid or whether the soap solution is acidic or basic by using this indicator. For that we need to know the color change of this indicator. What will be the color change shown by this indicator? So let us move on to this topic. And some common example for indicator are universal indicator, which is given in your textbook and you will study it in detail. Universal indicator, then litmus paper, then methyl orange. These are some example, common example for indicator, methyl orange. Other than these indicators, there are many indicators. So we will be studying on these four types of indicator. Phenolphthalein, so this litmus paper, what is this litmus paper? You might have studied it in your lower classes. About litmus paper you might have studied in your lower classes. And this litmus paper, which is extracted from the plant known as the lichen, and which is available in the market in the form of paper. So this is known as the litmus paper, and this is extracted from the plant named lichen. So in acidic medium it will show red color. This litmus paper will show red color in acidic medium, and in the case of basic medium, when this litmus paper is dipped in the basic solution, they will show blue color. They will impart blue color. So that is when suppose we have taken two solutions. One is acid solution. In two test tube we have taken two solution. One is the acid solution and another one is the basic solution. This is acid and this is base. So and we have dipped our litmus paper in this acidic solution. When this litmus paper is dipped in acidic solution, they will impart red color, that is red color to the litmus paper. And when this litmus paper is dipped in the basic solution, they will impart blue color to this litmus paper. This is the thing about the litmus paper, that is by using litmus paper, which is one of the common example for indicator, we can differentiate between the acid as well as the base. And next is the methyl orange. Methyl orange, this is another example for indicator, and this is the synthetic indicator. Synthetic indicator is nothing but they are produced in laboratory, that is they are produced in laboratory. And so this is basically somewhat orange in color. Their color will be orange. And so in acidic medium they will show red color, and in basic medium they will show yellow color. So students, can you answer why they differentiate acid as well as the base? Why they show different color in acid and the different color in the basic solution? Please comment in the chat box. The answer, please comment in the chat box. And if you have any doubt related to this topic, please clear it in the chat box. So they will show red color in the acidic solution and yellow color in the basic solution. This is all about the methyl orange. And now let us moving on to the most common indicator used, that is the universal indicator, which is given in a textbook. Universal indicator, and this universal indicator, they can be defined as a pH indicator made of a solution of several compounds. That is, this indicator is made up of solution of several compounds which are mixed together that exhibit several smooth color changes, and the color changes we can accurately determine these color changes whether it is acidic or basic, and we can determine the accurate color change by defining the strength of the acids as well as the bases over a wide range of pH values to indicate the acidity or alkalinity of the solution. So this universal indicator is the pH paper. pH paper which we use in our lab. And so by using this pH paper, we can define whether the solution is acidic or basic, and we can also determine the strength of the acid, that is whether it is weak acid or weak base or weak strong acid or strong base, by using this pH paper. That is, it gives us the accurate determination. So it is known as a universal, that is, it is universally accepted indicator. So it is known as a universal indicator. And they gives the accurate value, and there will be wide range of pH values from 0 to 14. And the pH value of this indicate, that is, the picture is given in your textbook, and so the pH value ranges from 0 to 14, and to indicate whether this solution is acidic or whether it is basic. And it helps us to identify the strength of the acid, that is a weak acid as well as strong acid, or base, weak base or the strong base. And this pH paper is generally used in our laboratory. And so and this pH paper was found by the scientist named as Sorensen. So Sorensen is the founder of this pH paper, and he gave us the idea to determine the strength of the acid as well as the bases, and it was founded in the year 1909. Every substance, whether it is acid or whether it is bases, as I have given you example, or what is the example for acid? HCl is a common example for acid. So this acid will contain, of course they will contain H plus ions, and this bases, that is NaOH, they contain HOH minus ions. So there is H, that is hydrogen, in both the acid as well as the bases. So what we have found is that this pH paper, that is the term pH. pH is potence of hydrogen. Potence or power of hydrogen. This pH indicates the potence or the power of hydrogen, that is how much the hydrogen atoms are there. By determining the strength, that or the number of this hydrogen atom, by determining the number of this hydrogen, we can determine whether it is acid or the strength of the acid as well as the base. And that is in acid, that is there is H plus ion in acid, and in a bases, that is there is no H plus ion. Instead of that, there is OH minus. So this pH is a pH gives us the potence of hydrogen or the power of hydrogen atom. And so by using this pH, we can determine the strength of this acid. And as you all know that this acid has H plus ions, and this bases as OH minus ion. And for example, we can take HCl, and that is which is in aqueous state. will produce H plus Cl minus, again which is in aqueous. And next is the NaOH, which in turn is in aqueous state. Aqueous is in water, that is which will produce Na plus OH minus, which again is in aqueous state. So here in both there the state is aqueous, that is there is a presence of water. And you know that water produces H plus OH minus ion. So we can say that in this there is H plus ion, and as well as in this basic solution there is H plus ions in acidic as well as the basic solution. But the thing is that in this first case, that is in the HCl, the concentration of H plus will be more, because this H plus is already produced by this as acid, that is HCl, and again in turn the water, that is the aqueous state, also contains the H plus ion. So here H plus ion concentration will be more in the case of acid, whereas in the case of base, that is NaOH, here the concentration of OH minus ion is more, and H plus ion concentration is that is nil, or H plus ions are absent in the case of base. But in being it is in aqueous solution, the H plus ion will be there in the aqueous state. So H plus ion concentration will be less in the case of bases as compared to that of the acid. So what Sorensen have done is that he determined the concentration of this H plus ion. By determining the concentration of H plus ion, determine the strength of this acid as well as the bases. That is by using the number of H plus ion. And so we can define pH, or the potential of hydrogen ion, is inversely proportional to concentration of H plus. That is, pH is inversely proportional to concentration of H plus. As the concentration of H plus ions increases, that is the pH decreases. So this is inversely proportional. So as the pH increases, the more the pH, less will be the concentration of H plus, and more the concentration of H plus, less will be the pH. This is what is defined by Sorensen. So as you all know that there the value of the pH range pH range ranges from 0 to 14. Now we can look what is the range of acid, what is the range of weak acid, strong acid, weak base as well as the strong base, and what is the range of water. So pH values 7. If the pH value is 7, then it is neutral. The solution will be neutral. And if the pH value is below 7, means below 7, so pH value is less, below 7, so the concentration of H plus ions will be more, that is inversely proportional. Concentration of H plus ions will be more, so of course they will be acidic solution, acid. And if the pH value is more than 7, that is above 7, means the number is more, so concentration of H plus ions will be less, so they are basic solution. They will be basic solution. So we can say that more the number of H plus ion concentration. Students, please keep it in your mind, that is more than a concentration of H plus ion concentration more means they are acidic. pH is less pH, and OH minus ion concentration will be less. So I hope you are clear with this topic. And next is the H plus ion concentration. If this H plus ion concentration, I think you can say by yourself, H plus ion concentration less means they will be basic. The solution will be basic. And for the bases, you know that pH is high. High means more than 7, and OH minus ion concentration will be more. So by using this pH paper, suppose this is our pH paper, they will have definite range like numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roughly I am explaining this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 till 14, 13 and finally 14. So suppose this is our pH paper, and if the range is 7 means you all know the solution is neutral, and if it is below 7 they will be acidic. Above 7 means they will be basic, and the solution will be basic in nature. So we can define the strength, as I have explained you, we can define the strength of this acid as well as the bases. And a strong acid, what is meant by strong acid? And this strong acid means they will have very low pH, that is the pH range will be almost 1. That is a strong acid. This is strong acid. 1, 2, that is they will be strong acid, and here in the middle they will be mild acid. And again weak acid. Similarly here the bases will be, that is 8. 8 means again comes weak base, mild and strong. That is, if the pH value is very less, that is almost 1, they will be strong acid. Example can be taken as the concentrated sulfuric acid. And again, if the value, that is as the value increases, the strength of the acid will be decreased. That is, they will be somewhat mild, then weak. Then pH value high means that is the basic strength increases. So high of first 8 means it will be weak, and again mild, then strong. This is all about the pH, and this picture is given in your textbook, and have explained all about the universal indicator, that is the pH paper, and it was discovered by the scientist named as the Sorensen. Then the different types of indicator we have studied, like litmus paper, methyl orange, phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein, I have forgot to explain phenolphthalein. Phenolphthalein is nothing but it is a solution which is synthesized in the laboratory, and basically this phenolphthalein is colorless. And when they are dipped in the acid, they will be again colorless. That is, they will not show any differentiation, or not will not give any color. And when they are dipped in the basic solution, they will show pink color. So I have asked the reason for this. Let me explain the reason for this. Phenolphthalein, that is, phenolphthalein is the indicator. You know that it is colorless. Phenolphthalein is the colorless indicator, and when we pour acid into it, there will be formation of this complex, and that is the substance of this phenolphthalein as well as the acid combines with each other, and there will be formation of this complex. And in the acidic medium, that is when it is in the acidic medium, and the complex formed by this acid will be colorless, and whereas the complex formed by this that is when this phenolphthalein and the base react with each other, there will be again formation of the complex, and the complex form will be the pink color. Similar reason for here also, that is in the acidic medium, when litmus paper and that is a substance of this litmus paper and acid combines with each other to form red colored complex, whereas in the case it forms a blue colored complex. So similar the case for methyl orange. I hope you are very much clear and thorough with this topic. So students, if you have any doubt related to this topic or related to this chapter, please comment below in the comment box, and I will be replying you. So please like, share and subscribe my channel.